Now in this video, we're going to teach you how to actually create views from scratch. Now if you just want to edit a view, you can go to one existing, click on it, and kind of do some of the same stuff that we're going to do here. So we're just going to go ahead and call this sample view, and we've got a little description for it. I'm going to click next. And here's all you need to do. We're going to make a real simple one. We're going to call this exposed. We're basically just going to do a very simple one. What you need to do here is the left hand is where you kind of name everything. So we're going to track people that we expose to their interest level. And we're going to do uninterested. All you got to do is select here. We'll actually say, we'll call this interested. Now, we're kind of naming everything right now, which is pretty simple. You can just kind of point and click. Now, we've got people that we've exposed. We want to know if they're interested or uninterested. We're going to track that, and then we're going to track their ratios. We're going to say exposed versus uninterested. First thing that we're doing is we're naming our fields. So we're going to say exposed. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. I like this. This seems to be a little bit cleaner. We'll just keep it in order. All right, now if you type anything that you don't like, you can go ahead and delete it. And if let's say you want to put a little space here, this is add row, and here we have the feature to delete rows. So again, here's basically what we've got. So we've named what we want to track. We want to track people that we've exposed, whether they're interested, non-interested, and then the relationship between that. So this field is where you name everything. Now you'll notice when you click on this field, this is where all the preferences come. Now, when you click here, you've got a couple of different options. You can make it a field, which is basically just going to make it something that you can increment and decrement, plus or minus. You can make it a text, or you can make it do some calculations by clicking result. Then all you got to do is everything you click on, once this is your, now, oh, let me go over here. You want to find out whether it's standard or editable. All right, if it is standard, what it's going to be is just, again, a regular number. If you want it to be editable, what it is, what's going to happen there is it's going to just have a blank field where you can type in numbers. Real great for like typing in commission totals and stuff like that. And again, the cell formatting, we're just going to make it general. We're not going to make it a currency. So again, we've made this a field that's standard, and it's just a general number. All right. Then again, when we click on here, you'll notice it automatically carries it over. Now let's say you click on here, this is something blank. You don't want it to carry over because that's going to put a plus or minus sign there, and you don't want that. So we're going to click back here. It's going to remember the last thing that you did. And then we're over here. Now this we don't want to be a field because this we want to be a relationship. So we want to go ahead and say we want the amount of people that we expose divided by the people that are interested so we can see a ratio. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on result. We're going to go ahead and let's do this one. We'll call it a ratio. And then we'll call this one a ratio and a percentage. Now we've just kind of named a couple things. What you want to do is you always want to type in some sample information. So we exposed 10 people. We've got 5 of them, or let's just say 6 of them are interested. Hit enter. And 4 of them were not interested. So now we've kind of got our numbers. Now let's go ahead and play with these relationships. Real simple and kind of fun. All you got to do is you undo exposed. You take that, you drag it over here, and you'll see that it pops up here. And we're going to hit the division sign because we want to do people exposed divided by the people that are interested, and you hit enter. And it'll show you your ratio 5:3. And then in this example, we're just going to click here. We're going to take the amount of people exposed divided by the people that are uninterested. And then we're going to hit enter. And you can see, because we chose this to be a ratio or a percentage, you can see what it's going to do. Now you can see if we just make it a percentage, it'll be 40%. If you were to do it a ratio, it'll be 5:2. And if you were to do it as general, it'll be a number. And then currency just kind of shows it to you. But obviously this is the one that makes sense. We'll actually make these both ratios and percentages so we can kind of see some samples. All right, so once you got it clicked over, you are done. All you got to do is click finish, and what'll what you'll see happen is it'll actually pop up and load into here. So let's go ahead and find this one, sample view. Now as you can see, you increment numbers, and we'll just test the math, increment everything a couple of times, and you can see here we exposed 6 people. Let's say 4 of them were interested, 2 of them were not. Again, we have our ratios. Now that you know the basics of creating views, let's go ahead and take it to the next level. If you click here, you can edit the view that you just made, and we'll show you a couple of different advanced options and some things you can do to really make it a little prettier. We'll click here, we will add a row, and we'll actually name it. Call this activity. We'll make it bold, center, and we'll actually make it red. Oh, here we go. Bold, center, we got it bolded. There we go. Now let's go ahead and write results. And again, we'll do the same thing. We'll bold it, we'll center it, and we'll make it red. Click right there. All right, now let me show you a really cool feature. This is actually called the Suggest Next Activity feature. When you click on a field, what you actually have the opportunity to do is to drag and drop the next activities that you want the website to remind you of. So Activity Tracker will actually remind you of what you need to be clicking on next if you just drag and drop the next field. So obviously you're going to click the button to expose somebody, and then you're going to want to remind yourself, are they going to be interested or uninterested? What do I click on next? That way your count always stays consistent, gives you a nice natural flow. Now, if you click timed activity, what will actually happen is it'll actually time. The minute you hit the button, a timer will start, and it'll tell you how much time you're spending before that person becomes interested or uninterested. So you can track your actual work seconds and minutes. So we click finish, and if you notice, actually, because we added a row here, it kind of exceeded this to 20 rows, and there's a maximum. So all you got to do is click here and hit this delete button a couple of times, and that'll get you. Again, there's a 20 row maximum, so sometimes when you add rows, it'll kick you over that. You just have to delete them a couple times. All right, so now you've got the new and improved sample view. You click on the name, then here you go. You can see your options. Now, here's what happens when you click to increment it. You'll notice this timer will begin, and these numbers will flash because it's suggesting the next thing that you're supposed to click is going to be here, and it's actually timing how many seconds you spend on it. So when you click the next thing, you notice that the timer will stop and your next activity will be incremented. So there you have it. That's some advanced view creation. Enjoy yourself, and again, make some views, have some fun, and get tracking.